Isaskana. Welcome. Kanjani? Muri right here. Ini ndiri right hysteric. I hope weekend yange iri right, yange iri right hysteric. Dziri sei mhuri, ari sei mabasa. Ini ndiri right hysteric. Ndati nhasirika nditechi zvatinoita musi weSunday zviya. Yes, I don't even know where this is taking us, but this is what it is. This is what it is. Yeah, so what are we talking about today? Last week, takataura about my ages. Takataura about our reactions at nature when we are not happy. So today we are going to be talking about the voice in our hands. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about our thoughts. So as a recap, why we are doing all this again as a recap is, remember, to get a self-discovery. That's what we are doing. Why? Self-discovery is a process that is necessary. It's a process that is very important if you want to understand yourself, if you want to understand how you do things, if you understand why things are the way they are right now for you, why uri munhu wauri nhasi uchifunga mafungiro aunoita, uchifamba mafambiro aunoita, why you look at things a certain way different from another person. You just want to understand kuti why sei ndichinetskana neizvi or sei ndichifarira izvi, you know, so that unokwanisa you're able to focus on the good parts about you so that you can be the best version yaunoda, or you can work on the things yaunofunga kuti inini I'm not happy about my conduct yangu, and I'm not happy about personality yangu this way, and then you can change to be a happier person. Yes. So ndosaka uchiita process of self-discovery, because that's the first thing. You just need to know who you are. So what I'm doing right now is telling you the means and methods, or the things that you can observe about yourself, the things about yourself that you can observe, the things about yourself that you can assess, and understand why you behave like that. So we talked about your emotions first. Could assess your emotions. Could you know to and feel say when things happen? How do you feel about things? What do you feel about certain things? And that is my reactions, and how do we react into situations, especially when we are not happy. We normally emphasize on things that don't make you happy, because that's our goal, personally, to live our purpose and to live freely, you know, in a freedom, and to live happily. So you are just trying to understand why some things don't make you happy and why other things make you happy, and so that kind of intention to live a happy life. Then you focus on the things that make you happy, and you focus on adjusting, you know, how you see things, you know. That's the whole point of self-discovery, so that you understand yourself, you have visions, you make goals for yourself, and you do things that make you happy. You live a happier life that way, instead of you know, as if I have a choice. You want to live an intentional life, curating your life in accordance to your vision, curating your life in accordance to your goals, you know, and how you want to live the best life for you, right? So that's the whole point of self-discovery, you know, and understanding yourself. So now we are going to be talking about our the voice in our head, that voice that talks to you every day. Who is that voice? Where is that voice coming from? So those are your thoughts. Why do we have those thoughts, and why do I need to observe my thoughts in the process of self-discovery? Why are thoughts important? So that's what we are talking about today. So that voice in your head, your thoughts, is the voice that talks to you 24/7. Everything that happens in your life, everything that, you know, that manifests your reality, it starts as a thought. And haungotanga kungoacta usina kutombozviudza kuti do it or don't do this. Saka it's important to know exactly the voice that's telling you to do things or not to do, to like things or not to like things. The influence of that voice is, you know, unofana understand, so that you know kuti what is that kind of voice, what's eating you, what is that voice telling you, you know, because you can actually listen to that voice, but you have a choice to act in accordance with that voice, or to ignore that voice. We do that naturally because the antipazuwa munaneta almost 400,000 thoughts or 600,000 thoughts. But how we sift them and choose what to pay attention to and to choose what to focus on is something that happens naturally. But when it comes to self-awareness and self-discovery, you are now trying to have the ability to choose. You now want to choose instead of just acting according to your thoughts. You want to be able to give yourself time and opportunity to assess my thoughts so that you know, are these thoughts in alignment with where I'm going? Is this thought, if I act on this thought, is it in alignment with the person whom I want to become? Or yet I want to become a peaceful person, I want to become a loving person. You see, Saka, it's the thoughts in your head that you need to observe and assess. What kind of stories do I tell myself when I'm experiencing something? What kind of narrative do I say, what is it? Am I a positive person or am I a negative person? The voice that tells me something, is it a voice that's negative or a voice that's positive? Is it a voice that's soothing to me, or it's a voice that's harsh, to me? So you need to be able to assess, to look at that and assess what's eating me, what's feeding me. Am I nurturing myself here, or am I depleting my own energy through the voice in my head? So those are the kind of questions that you need to ask. So what I've learned to believe, ladies, is our experiences or circumstances, they actually don't matter. They don't have any meaning. It's us who put meaning to an experience. It's you who put a meaning to experience, to an experience. Otherwise, circumstances, they don't matter. What I'm trying to say is, for example, two people can experience, they can perceive something, one chakafanan, but my interpretation edu echinhu ichocho andikakasiyana. Unogona kuenda kuconcert chaiko nemunhu muri two moenda kuconcert, but the other person is having fun kuconcert ikoko, but mumwe ari kuita a dull moment, yet you are experiencing the same thing. So what is it that makes kuti mumwe munhu ano experience a dull moment, mumwe munhu ano experience a good moment? What's that? What makes it that what gives it that difference? So it's the meaning that you put to an experience. It's a meaning that you put to a situation that determines the outcome of your experience, or that determines whether you like an experience or you appreciate or you don't appreciate. So I came to learn that experiences don't matter. Life has no meaning. It's the meaning that you put to something that determines how you're going to experience it, that determines whether that thing is good for you or is positive or is negative. I'll give you an example. Zvakafanana ndanyora example panapa ekuti before inini chaiche, it's an experience andaitoita kudhara inini ndisati ndachinja. I only changed a few years ago. Ndiri munhu anga nejealousy, like jealousy chero kuti ndikaona mumwe munhu ane zvinhu zvake zvakanaka, I would actually feel good about zvake munhu, and zvaitonditambudza kuuya kwangu kuuk chaiko, to be honest with you girls, it was as a result of feeling kuti ndikusaririra vamwe vanhu vari kuita vane upenyu hwakanaka, sitereke kupretend vari kuita zvinhu zvakanaka, ende ndaitambudzika ndiri kubotswana kwandaigara kuti inini ndingori kuno kubotswana, ndingori mushena, ndingori mudust, and ndainyatsorwadziwa, then ndoenda kumba ndonetsana nemurume wangu nenyaya iyoyo kuti sei tisina isusu, how come our lives are not as good as vane kuuk, and that made me come here. Ndakazoya kunongo ndikaita madepression because zvandakazosvika kunoku futi ndikaona asiri zvo zvandaiona pamafacebook. So I'm that person akaaffectwa nekuona vanhu vakachena vakanaka vane zvinhu zvavo pafacebook. I'm that example. And when I came here, zvinhu zvezvo handina kuexperience the things that I thought I was going to experience, leading me into depression. Saka ndaiti ndikaona munhu ane zvinhu zvake ndaita jealous gondo chairo. But when I learned kuti it's the way that it's the stories that I was telling myself after I see vanhu pafacebook, ndaitanga kuona kuti vanhu vari kubudirira, inini handisi. Ndaizvicompare, handiti vamwe vanhu vane mari, inini handina. vamwe vanhu vari kuenda kuchikoro vari kuita madegree inini handina, and then ndobva ndati saka is because of my husband, ndobva ndatotanga kutozvishora ndototi saka pana kunoko hatisi kutombobudirira. You see, is the story that I was telling myself. Ndobva ndatoona kunge ndiri munhu akasarira mumashure, munhu someone who is not good enough, someone a failure in life. So you see, that's the story that I was telling myself, right? But pandakazotanga kuita journey yangu self discovery and transformation, I learned to change that narrative yekuzviudza kuti ndiri kusarira mumashure or ndikukundwa nevanhu. You know, I changed that narrative into inspiration. Kuti when you perceive someone ane zvinhu zvake, be inspired. Turn that as an inspiration. Instead you feel out wakundwa, say kuti I'm inspired, you know, and I would want to have those things as well because I'm seeing someone else who is like me. Ane zvinhu zvake. That means I can also do that if I apply myself, ndikakwanisa kuenda kuchikoro, ndikafocus pane zvinhu, ndikatsvaka mari yangu, ndikatsvaka means of doing this, you know, I can also achieve these things. So see it as an inspiration. So saka ndakachinja with negativity nekuti the stories I was telling myself after I perceived something was ndaita jealousy because I was telling myself negative stories. But I decided to twist that, could turn it into a positive story. All these things zvakuri kuona paFacebook nevanhu vane ma-achievements is actually your God trying to tell you, Aluta, this is what you can achieve if you apply yourself. This is what you can achieve also if you focus on, you know, on loving yourself and doing things for yourself instead of focus on your abilities. Focus on the good things in you and also wanting to do things. Focus on your goals, focus on your vision, and be inspired to do this because this person akatofanana newe akaitawo zvinhu zvakadai so. You see, saka I stopped being a jealous person. It's the story that I was telling myself. And then I started celebrating myself. I started celebrating with other people because munuya and akumononga kundi inspire. Saka I would actually text that person and tell them how they have inspired me and tell them kuti ngavaramba posta ma picture avo because I'm being inspired by them. But kudhara ndaibva ndatogona kubloka mune boss aindirwadzisa because I feel like jealous, you know. Kubasa chaiko kwanguri kuno kwaindinetsa kuenda boss ndaiona kunge tikungopedza mari ndichienda kubasa ndingopedza nguva but kusingandinakidze nani munhu angasinganakidze ndokuenda kubasa but mari yesalary ndichiifarira zvezvo kutoti makuseni unomuka uchitozvidreadha kuti handisi kuda kuenda kubasa. So that means my days were so bad because unenge uri mubhodhom, unenge uri depressed because uri munhu asiri kuda kuenda kubasa. But when I started, because ndaizviudza mastories ekuti kubasa handina mari, tikungoenda kubasa tingonotswa zvekuita, you know, Monday blues, you know, zamunhu andingangori negative. Because kana wasvika kubasa mune muchingonongedzera zvinhu zvisina kunaka, you know, mabhosi edu ari kuzotidai. I was a very person angori complaining. So that means the narrative that I was telling myself about work was not nice. It was a negative thing. But ndakazoshifta just recently. Because now I want to be a positive person. Because kubasa, I don't have a choice. I have to go kubasa and love what I do. So I turned that negative narrative into a positive narrative by looking at what I do. I'm actually a person who helps other people. I'm actually a person who knows my problems kubasa. Because basa rangu ndi lawyer. So I'm actually a person who knows my problems ndotsvaga machi means of helping them kuti vabude troubles avo. You see, I'm actually a person who gives service to another person. I don't know any problem, but can have a solution over. So I'm a member who is a member of community who is needed. My services are needed in the community because when I know my problems, I'm over to and are satisfied. You understand? But ndiri munhu aizvidya moyo stere kuti inini basa rangu ndinongoteerera nyaya dzevanhu dziri negative, nyaya dziya ndodziteerera ndodziita dzangu, ndopinda mudepression ndotsamba. But when I turned it around kuti I'm actually a person ari kubatsira vanhu, you know, it's an act of service, you know, I'm a contributing member kumu community mangu, and vanhu vanotondinida and they come to me because they need my services. You know, ndakachinja kuita a positive narrative about my work and zvakandibatsira kuita a happier person, and I actually now look forward to going to work because I'm adding value to other people's lives, and what those people are adding value to my life because I'm gaining experience, and I'm also being a kind person ndichibatsira vanhu, and through acts of service. Saka kuenda kubasa kwangu is now an act of service. So I turned a negative narrative into a positive narrative about my work. Andidi ndatotaura kana kuti ushaya mari chaiko chaiko ndandimurainetsikana nenyaya yekushaya mari ndakambotaura before kuti unoshaya mabills, mabhengi, mari iri kupera because mapaundi to shop. Ndonetsana nemurume wangu mumba kuti ngoti vanhu vari broke chichichi, but ndakazvitena izvozvo into a positive thing yekuti this is an opportunity to learn about money. This is an opportunity to learn kuti mari inoitwa sei mubritain munomu, understand your environment, understand the financial environment yemubritain, uona kuti zvii zvimwe zvaungaite kana kuri kuenda kuchikoro kana kuri kutengesa something. So what else can you do to supplement your income? And instead yekungocomplaina pasina zvandiri kuita. So I turned that being broke narrative yekushaya mari into an opportunity yekuti into a positive narrative yekuti it's an opportunity to improve myself, economically or or financially. And so that's what I'm trying to say here. Observe how you think about what you tell yourself when you experience something, when a situation presents itself in your life. What do you tell yourself? You can change that narrative into a positive so that it feeds you. Change the narrative, how you speak to yourself, or the narrative, how you explain things to yourself. Be positive about it, be optimistic about it, so that it nurtures you, so that it doesn't deplete your energy, but it nurtures you and it feeds your soul. And then wait a decision, wait a problem solve, instead of giving you a narrative that leads you to complaining, that leads you to controlling, that leads you to defend yourself, and that leads you to always be angry. Give yourself narratives that feed you, so this also, Jema voice in your head, it also talks about, putting meaning to things. So these little things are shinabasa, but just putting a nice meaning around. You know what, I'm living this, because complain about maybe the people that we live with or our kids or the little things that are. Just change the narrative and say I'm contributing towards well-being here. Even I love drinking tea, but it's not good in the tea. I put meaning to drinking tea. I put a positive meaning into act of drinking tea, because tea kunwa tea chako is now a ritual. I'm now taking care of myself. I'm nurturing myself. Tea, and I've decided to drink tea, not coffee or not alcohol. I just decided to put a meaning around drinking of tea. So it's a ritual. Some tea yangu teapot kango kakanaka kakapu ndogarapa ndirindeka musina munhu ndakanyarara. I'm not watching TV. I'm just listening. And may not I'll be listening to what, but it's a ritual that I've created around tea. But I don't know what tea is, kungonwa tea akangodaro, but kungoti ndingonakidzwa neupenyu hwangu. So I have decided to be intentional about the meanings that I place on circumstances, on situation. Kugeza chaiko, kuzora mafuta, it's self-care. I make sure kuti ndiri engrossed in it, ndiri kunakidzwa nazvo, because I've put a positive meaning of self-care. I'm taking care of myself right now. Every time I'm bathing, I pay attention. I pay attention because I decided to put meaning. I decided to be intentional about it. You understand? So it's what you tell yourself about something. That's how you celebrate little things. That's how you acknowledge the good things that God God does for you. Because we're not decide out there's these little things that are happening in life. I'm grateful for them. The little things. That's how you celebrate little things, by listening to the voice. Pay attention to the voice in your head. Pay attention to your thoughts. What stories are you telling yourself when you experience something? Are you telling yourself stories that deplete your energy, or are you telling yourself stories that nurture you? You know, stories that feeds your energy, that feeds your soul. So in I decided, musoro mango, I don't criticize myself. I stopped criticizing myself or others or judging others. Ndichaita another um you know, this video just on judgments next week, you know, because we judge ourselves so harshly, because we judge others also harshly, and we feel good when we're not a judge back harshly. Saka, what we tell ourselves in Sorom, tinos we judge and criticize ourselves so much that we know because you are judging yourself. You understand? So because urikuzviudza zvinhu zvisina kunaka. So that's something that you need to work on, because inini I worked on that. I used to be negative about myself. I never used to like myself. Even the way I look, I never used to like myself at all. But I turned all that into self-love. I will not criticize myself. I will not listen to the voice in my head that's negative. I will never listen to it. If a negative thought comes to my head, I'll tell myself, this is a lie. This is not true. So, ladies, I hope what I'm telling you right now makes sense, and it helps you with your journey of self-discovery. It helps you to be self-aware of yourself, you know, self-aware. This is how I think, this is what's eating me in my hand. I'm overthinking. Why am I overthinking? You understand? What am I listening to? You can choose. My thoughts is for those 400,000 thoughts. Choose the thought, the nice thought that you want to focus on. Ukaona negative thought, try to find do it change say into a positive, so that it becomes a thought that feeds you, so that when you experience your world in a happier place, from a happier place, and from a peaceful place, because you're choosing the thoughts that nurture you. You're choosing thoughts that feed you. You're choosing, because reality yedu yatino experience apanzi, it starts as a thought. So if you want to live a happier life, if you want to live a more peaceful life, it means the thoughts that you need to focus on are the thoughts that are happier. The thoughts that are not happy, you discard them, you ignore them, and you don't pay attention to them. Right? I hope this makes a lot of sense. That's enough for today. Thank you so much, ladies, for listening to me. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Let me know if you have any queries as usual. Let me know if you have any comments. Mondisrako inbox. Have a lovely Sunday, ladies. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.